Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending at the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto commendation ceremony. For the opening, we have a dance performance by Kyoen Sodefure promotion team. I'd like to briefly introduce the contents of the performance. Since 2003, October every year, there is a Kyoto Student Festival in the city of Kyoto. In Kyoto, actually students account for 10% of the population. So Kyoto is one of the cities with the largest proportion of students. And this is a Kyoto Student Festival that is organized by the local students in Kyoto. Today we're going to look at the performance by Kyoen Sodefure that was created in 2005 out of this Kyoto Student Festival. Today they are going to show us Kyoen Sodefure special version. They wear kimono-based costume and also they incorporated music and also movement which are typical to Kyoto. And I hope you will enjoy their smile and vibrant performance. Power of the student.
共演袖フレ入場。こんにちは。京都学生祭典よりやってます。
Hey, hello everyone. This is Kyoen Sodefure promotion team. Today we're going to show you the special version. I would like to ask for your hand clapping.
それでは参ります。袖フレアーモ多少の縁、共演袖フレ構え。
ありがとう。
Okay, thank you. So that was the dance performance of Kyo and Sodefure. That was very powerful, and think now I see younger faces on the audience. So it's very energetic and powerful dance. So now here I have Mr. Takeuchi, a leader of this dance performance. But first of all, Kyo and Sodefure, the name is so unique. Well, what is the background of this name? So let me explain Kyoen, what Kyoen means. So Kyo include the kanji character of Kyoto and also the flame. So it's basically means the power of the Kyoto students. Right, okay, so Mr. Takeuchi yourself, when did you join? 2 years ago actually, when I was the first student of the college. So it's been a long years, right? Since, and your activity itself is now well known in Kyoto. It's getting a larger performance. So how do you see it? So we involve elementary schools and also junior high schools of Kyoto, and also day nurseries. Well, we go there to the schools and nursery to provide our performance. So by visiting those Kyoto education institutions, that we try to communicate the culture of the student of Kyoto to younger generations as well. Okay, so on the screens we saw some pictures. So this is a cleanup activity at the river, right? Exactly. There is a Kyoto Student Festival. This is also an organization of a Kyoto student that engage various activities like a cleanup of the river, Kamogawa River, and also we do volunteer works at the shrines and temples and other locations. Okay, so you have various activities. So I hope that your activity will further flourish. Okay, so would you please prepare yourself for the next performance? But thank you very much, Mr. Takeuchi. Right, that was really powerful and energetic. Their smiles are so good. Maybe you want to join them, right? Are you ready to join? Okay, next, so please enjoy the dancing together with Kyo and Sodefure.
はい、それでは皆さんと一緒に踊っていき
Okay, so let's dance together. This is very simple and easy dance. You can join us while you're sitting. So please follow that student who are surrounding you. So please mimic what the student do. Okay, first of all, from the left.
Hizaポンポン、Hizaポンポン、左右左パンチ、Hizaポンポン。次くるくるします。くるくるくるくるくるくるくるくる。万歳ポンポン、右左くるくるくるくるくるくるくるくる。万歳ポンポンソロ。次は右手から背泳ぎします。左手右手左手ニョキッと伸ばして開 いてよポン左右左右5、6上げて下ろす左右左右5、6上げて下ろす。次こちら京都の通り名歌というものになっております。松万五条では周りの人と少しハイタッチするなどして交流してみてください。次右歩い肩ポン肩ポン歩いて肩ポンもう一回歩いて肩ポン肩ポン歩いて肩ポン肩ポンよは反対よは回ってジャンプ。もう一度左からひねります。左右左パンチ膝膝ポンポン膝膝ポンポン左右左パンチ膝膝ポンポン膝膝くるくるします。くるくるくるくるくるくるくるくる万歳ポンポン右左くるくるくるくるくるくるくるくる万歳ポンポンそろい。もう一度右手から背泳ぎします。左手右手左手ニョキッと伸ばし次四つ待ちを開いて1234よもう次盆踊りするようなイメージで手を挙げてみてください。次ゆらゆらします。ゆらゆらゆらもう一度盆踊りするようなイメージで右左右左ゆらゆらゆらゆ次右手から上げます。右手左手右手から下ろします。下ろす下ろす右ポン左ポン開いて下ろしてもう一度手拍子お願いします。次は手を上から下に下ろします。上下上下次5回叩きます。12345よは反対よは歩いて右手からパンチします。左右左5、6上から下下から上右左右左右左右左最後は好きなポーズで終わります。ありがとうございました。
Okay, thank you. That's the end of it. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Okay, thank you. That was such a wonderful performance. So that was a Q&A, so please give Seb another round of applause. Okay, thank you very much. That was the opening performance. So, the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto is an award to honor the achievement of individuals who have made substantial contributions to preservation of the global environment. And through the exhibit at the entrance of Kyoto International Conference Center, where the Kyoto Protocol was adopted, it aims at letting future generations know the achievement and disseminate their spirit to the world. And thus far, a total of 24 individuals have been honored as inductees into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto. The 11th inductees are the Ipcc Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which has made significant contributions to outstanding academic research and international consensus building on climate change through comprehensive scientific and technical assessments on global warming. And also the Madame Mary Robinson, who has tackled international human rights issues as UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and chairperson for the International Commission of Jurists, and taken up climate change from human rights perspectives, demanding international community to act on the issue. As part of the North-South issue, thus making great contributions towards international consensus building. So this time, one organization and one individual have been inducted into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto. So we're going to rearrange the stage, so please wait for a while. Thank you very much for waiting. And also thank you very much attending at the commendation ceremony. Here we would like to begin the commendation ceremony for the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto. Let me introduce myself. My name is Risa Yoshida. I am going to be an MC for this event. First, we are going to invite organizers. The organizers are now being ushered in by Mr. Matsumoto and Yukiko Noda. Those are Miss Kyoto Kimono 2019. Now, I would like to introduce the organizers for the opening of the commendation ceremony of the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto. First of all, Chairperson, the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto Management Council, and Director General, the Research Institute for Humanity and Nature, Tetsuzo Yasunari. Governor of Kyoto Prefecture, Takatoshi Nishiwaki. Mayor of Kyoto City, Daisaku Kadokawa. Director General, the Global Environment Bureau, the Ministry of the Environment, Tomohiro Kondo. Chairperson, Special Committee for Environment and Energy, Kyoto Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Toshio Kakimoto. Director, the International Research Institute for Advanced Studies, Hiroshi Matsumoto. Director, the Kyoto International Conference Center, Shunichi Uchida. Chair, the Earth Forum Kyoto, and President of Kyoto University, Junichi Yamagiwa. President of Kyoto Prefectural University, Takashi Tsukiyama. Deputy General Director, the International Research Center for Japanese Studies, Kenki Ryu. And also And we have an attendance from the local assembly members from Kyoto Prefecture and municipal assemblies. Now I would like to invite the new inductees. The Ipcc Chair, Dr. Ho Sen Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Ho Sen Lee.
IPCC の議長、
Mr. Ho Sen Lee, Chair of IPCC. Please take your seat. On behalf of the host, Chairman of the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto Management Council, Mr. Yasunari Tetsuzo will extend his greetings. On the occasion of the 11th commendation ceremony for the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, I would like to extend my gratitude for so many of you to have come. The Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto is an award to honor in perpetuity the achievements of those who have contributed to conservation of the global environment. It was founded in 2010 by Kyoto Prefecture, Kyoto City, Kyoto Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Ministry of Environment, the Research Institute of Humanity and Nature, the International Institute for Advanced Studies, and the Kyoto International Conference Center. As you are all aware, the third conference of the parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP3, was held at this very venue in 1997, in which the Kyoto Protocol was adopted by the countries throughout the world, pledging to deal with climate change policy beyond the conflict of each interest. Succeeding the Kyoto Protocol, the Paris Agreement has started its actual activity in January this year. However, in COP25 held last December, full consensus could not be reached with regard to the actual operational rules and the CO2 reduction target, which leaves us with challenges ahead of us in achieving the Paris Agreement goal of realizing decarbonized society in the latter half of this century. The climate change issues caused by global warming can become irreversible if countermeasures are not taken right away. Therefore, I think it is significant to recognize the people who are tackling in the forefront with climate change and to send messages which can shed light to the future from this memorial venue of the Kyoto Protocol to further drive the momentum against climate change, together with the efforts and shared purpose of the past inductees dedicated to the conservation of this planet's environment. As you may remember, Dr. Tetsu Nakamura, who was one of the 8th inductee to the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, passed away December last year. He was a medical doctor and a humanitarian activist, whom we are all proud of, sadly shot in Afghanistan. but had worked very hard to improve the living environment of the local people with great empathy and aspiration. Taking this opportunity, I would like to pay respect to his attitude, which showed us all the importance of action, and my sincere condolence to his tragic death. This year, as inductees to Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, one organization and one individual were selected. As the first organization to be selected as an inductee, Ipcc, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, has greatly contributed to various academic research and in building global consensus in the field of climate change through its comprehensive scientific and technical evaluation concerning global warming. The other inductee is Ms. Mary Robinson, a former president of the Republic of Ireland and actually the first woman president of the country. She then has worked actively in the United Nations organizations in the field of human rights and climate change. She is now an advocate of climate justice, dealing with the issue of island nations endangered by the rising sea level. She asserts that when people are faced with health issues and disasters and dislocation because of climate change, that is a human rights issue and corrective measures must be taken. Today, on behalf of Ipcc, Chair Hosen Lee is here with us in Kyoto. And Ms. Mary Robinson, who was unable to attend this ceremony, has sent us a video message. I am very happy that we are able to engrave another new page to the history of the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto today on this occasion of the 11th commendation ceremony. I certainly hope that we will be able to continue to disseminate our message from the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto and contribute to the conservation of global environment and the realization of sustainable future. And I would like to ask for your support and cooperation for this endeavor. In conclusion, I wish the health and happiness of all the people here today. February 11th, 2020, Tetsuzo Yasunari, Chairman of the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto Management Council.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yasunari. Now, I would like to invite Governor of Kyoto Prefecture, Takatoshi Nishiwaki. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. This is Nishiwaki. First of all, I wish to congratulate Ipcc and Ms. Mary Robinson on their induction to the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto. I also wish to express my heartfelt welcome to you, all who have come to join this awarding ceremony. First, let me offer my deepest condolences on the tragic event of Dr. Tetsu Nakamura, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame 3 years ago. And I'm firmly determined to carry on his will and continue our efforts aiming at solving global environmental problems. The Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, marking 11th this time, has so far been awarded to 24 individuals from 13 countries in recognition of their substantial contributions to the global environment, through which the importance of preserving the global environment has been communicated to the world from Kyoto. Nowadays, we face numerous disasters attributable to extreme weather happening in different parts of the world. Powerful typhoon, heavy rains, presumably caused by the global warming, and drought, which triggered the massive bushfire in Australia. The global environment is indeed in a critical situation. The special report put forward by the Ipcc last year says it is necessary to achieve zero CO2 emissions by 2050 in order to lower the temperature rise from 2 degrees C to 1.5 degrees C. And there's no time left for us to realize the decarbonized society, the target of the Paris Agreement, which kicked off fully this year. And also, as been said, from the viewpoints of the climate justice advocated by Ms. Mary Robinson, it is truly imperative that each one of us seriously consider the global environment and take actions hand in hand with NPOs, community organizations, businesses, and governments. Kyoto Prefecture government set the target of achieving substantial zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 in its master plan to realize dreams of Kyoto. And today in this hall, where the Kyoto Protocol was adopted, I wish to declare that we will aim at the zero GHG emissions by 2050 and promise that we will carry forward a range of initiatives to that goal. So this is the point that I want to make in this address. I believe this is the 59th declaration in the local government. I ask for your strong support and cooperation. Now, I would like to close by wishing the new inductees further success and those all here today, health and happiness. Thank you very much.
Governor Nishiwaki, thank you very much. Next, let me invite the Mayor of Kyoto City, Mayor Kadokawa, Daisuke Kadokawa. Hello, everyone. On the occasion of the commendation ceremony for the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, thank you very much for coming today. And also the members of the City Assembly of the city as well as the prefecture. Thank you very much for your participation. As has been said, this venue was where the Kyoto Protocol was adopted. And we have the pride and the responsibility as the birthplace of Kyoto Protocol. Therefore, all of the people in Kyoto has been engaged in various endeavors. We hope that Kyoto Protocol becomes an endeavor of all people, and this has advanced to the Paris Agreement. We have had exchanges between Kyoto City and Paris, and we are pledging with each other that we should contribute to the betterment of global environment. And now, Paris Agreement is in the stage of implementation, and for that, we need some guidelines. And last year, when IPCC's 49th session was held in 5 days in Kyoto, the methodology report with regard to the 2019 refinement to the 2006 Ipcc guideline for the national greenhouse gas inventories was adopted with the nickname of Ipcc Kyoto guideline. I think the awareness of this naming is rising as well. As the Governor Nishiwaki has announced, I welcome the fact that they will be declaring that they will meet net zero CO2 emission in 2050. In the special report by Ipcc, in order to implement global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade, I had a discussion with Minister Harada of the then Minister of Environment, and in front of him, the Kyoto City also declared that we will endeavor to achieve net zero CO2 emission in 2050. This will mean that an area where 40% of the Japanese population live has announced and declared the pledge for net zero CO2 emission in 2050. I think the present Minister Koizumi of the Environment also supports us. People say that asks us whether this is really possible. The population of Kyoto City is leveling off, but we have more tourists. However, the usage of the electricity has reduced by 26%. The waste garbage has been reduced by 50%. And also, I think innovation is very important with the collaboration together with the government and the industry and the academia. I would like to also pay my great condolence to Dr. Nakamura of his tragic death. We would like to also, and thank you, Dr. Lee, for coming today. Together with the Japanese government, Ipcc session was held 2 years back, or was it last year, in Kyoto. And I am very grateful that you made efforts in order to hold the session in Kyoto. The Kyoto guideline, I think, can be named the Tanabe guideline as well because of his great effort, the co-chair of Ipcc. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kadokawa. So next, I would like to invite Director General, Global Environment Bureau, the Ministry of the Environment, Mr. Tomohiro Kondo.
皆様
Thank you very much for the introduction. First of all, I wish to congratulate on the 11th commendation ceremony to be opened with such large audience and Ipcc and Ms. Mary Robinson on the induction. It is indeed my firm belief that honoring those who have made substantial contributions to conservation of the global environment and perpetually disseminating such contribution to the world from Kyoto, the birthplace of the Kyoto Protocol, greatly serves to share the wills of nations, regions, and people and promote various initiatives aiming at solving the global environmental issues. The Ipcc has so far formulated and put forward to policymakers and others 5 assessment reports based on scientific findings on climate change contributed by scientists from around the world. And they are working on the next assessment report cycle. And also from October 2018 to September 2019, they have also published special report on 1.5 degrees C global warming and others, warning the international community about the graveness of the issues, serving to promote countermeasures against global warming. April last year, the 49th plenary session was organized here in Kyoto, which adapted the guideline on the calculation methodology of GHG emissions critical to the implementation of the Paris Agreement. And Miss Mary Robinson helped organize 2014 Climate Summit as UN Special Envoy on Climate Change and called for preparedness of international community towards the future risks of climate change, seeking attentions on drought and disasters which could be caused by El Nino as Special Envoy on El Nino and climate change. Now she advocates climate justice, taking up the issues of displacement and illness caused by climate change from human rights perspectives, and tirelessly work to rectify the issues. And these initiatives have become major drivers for various nations' activities for the adaptation to climate change. So I sincerely wish the both of these further success and their messages heard by the people around the world. Climate change is an unavoidable pressing issue shared by the international community. In Japan, the greenhouse gas emissions has been curtailed in the fifth consecutive years through various measures, and now approximately 40% of municipalities in Japan are committed to achieving zero CO2 emissions by 2050. And I was positively surprised that the governor of Kyoto just declared to achieve the zero emissions by 2050. And there are 59 local governments which have already declared zero emissions by 2050. So we see a rapid expansion of such initiatives taken by local government, businesses, and other non-state actors. So the Ministry of Environment will push forward its policies to realize the transformation to decarbonize and sustainable society targeted in the Paris Agreement and SDGs, and concurrently endeavor to solve not only environmental issues but also socio-economic issues. Here, I would like to ask for continued guidance and advice from new inductees. In closing, let me wish you all here good health and success, and express my sincere hope that the Earth Hall of Fame, Kyoto, will hold its significance for future conservation of the global environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kondo. Now let us begin the commendation ceremony. The inductees to the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto on this 11th occasion are Ipcc, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and Ms. Mary Robinson, former President of Ireland, as well as former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. First, let me introduce the achievements made by Ipcc. Ipcc, by conducting comprehensive assessment utilizing scientific and technical expertise, has contributed greatly in the epoch-making academic research and in formalizing global consensus. In May 2019, the 49th session of the Ipcc was held at this Kyoto International Conference Center, in which the 2019 methodology report, that so-called Ipcc Kyoto Guideline, was adopted. Ipcc is the first organizational inductee. Let me introduce the representative of Ipcc, Chair Ho-Sen Lee. Please proceed to the center of the stage. Chairman Yasunari, could you come to the front of the stage as well? The certificate will be presented. Certificate of the Induction into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. For the great contributions you have made and for the wisdom and passion you have brought to bear in your endeavors to ensure that Earth, our mother and our lifeblood, is passed on to future generations. And in the spirit of deepest respect and profoundest acclaim for your achievements, here in the birthplace of Kyoto Protocol, a document of historic importance for the Earth and the future of humankind, we acknowledge and applaud your induction into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, February 11, 2020. Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto Management Council.
Climate change. For the great contribution you have made, and for the wisdom and the passion you have brought to bear in your endeavors to ensure the Earth, our mother and our livelihood, is passed on to the future generations, and in the spirit of deepest respect and profoundest acclaim for your achievement, here in the birthplace of the Kyoto Protocol, a document of historic importance for the Earth and the future of humankind, we acknowledge and applaud your induction into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto, February 11, 2020. Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto Management Council, Tetsuo Yasunari and Koizumi Shinjiro. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
おめでとうございます。
Congratulations. And this is a commemorative gift of Nishijin brocade scroll designed with the Fujin Daijin, the gods of the wind and thunder. Please look at the screen. Nishijin brocade, one of the representing handicraft of Kyoto, made into a scroll. Presentation of the gift. Thank you very much. Now may I ask Mr. Hosen Lee to give us a few words.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, is deeply honored to be part of the 11th class of inductees to the Kyoto Earth Hall of Fame, together with Mary Robinson. Being inducted into the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto is a particular honor because it is housed in this Kyoto International Conference Center, an historical place in the climate change history. This is the venue, as you know very well, where the Kyoto Protocol, the first international agreement to limit national greenhouse gas emissions, was adopted in 1997 by the third conference of parties to the UN Climate Convention. In the same year, Kyoto City was the first prefecture to adopt global warming countermeasures. Those measures have been updated and expanded several times in an effort to reduce its emissions by 25% from the 1990 level in 2020, and then 40% in 2030. Then, last year, Kyoto proclaimed the goal of net zero emissions by 2050. Again, the first city in Japan, initiating the Great Transition, now followed by a number of cities covering over 50 million population in Japan. Kyoto's leadership in addressing climate change makes induction into the Earth Hall of Fame especially meaningful. The IPCC's relationship with Kyoto is special. Last year, the IPCC produced a methodology report, as Mayor Kadakawa just mentioned, entitled 2019 Refinement to the 2006 IPCC Guidelines for National Greenhouse Gas Inventories, nicknamed by IPCC Kyoto Guidelines and then IPCC Kyoto Tanabe Guidelines, which is an important report to enhance the transparency in the reporting of the emissions inventories of countries in compliance with the UN Climate Convention as well as the Paris Agreement. It was Kyoto hosted the IPCC plenary session, which adopted and accepted the methodology report, and this conference center was the venue. We give our thanks to Kyoto. Dr. Tanabe, the co-chairs of the IPCC Task Force on National Greenhouse Gas Inventories, did an excellent work to make this possible. Our thanks also go to the Japanese Ministry of Environment for its strong support of the IPCC and its support for hosting the technical support unit of that IPCC Task Force on National Greenhouse Gas Inventories. Kyoto is special to me and the IPCC for another reason. The IPCC, the second assessment report, 25 years ago, was the scientific basis for the Kyoto Protocol, and I was privileged to serve as the co-chair of the Working Group 3 of that second assessment report that produced, for the first time in climate science and policy history, an assessment on the economic and social dimensions of climate change. After 25 years since the IPCC second assessment report, we recognize more than any other time now the crucial importance of improving the understanding of the economic and social aspects of climate change. The transition to a new world of net zero carbon emissions, that is climate action, requires a deep understanding of the economic and social dimensions of climate change and responses to it. Transition is a reallocation of resources. It is a matter of achieving efficiency and social equity, whether we can achieve the transition to net zero. The benefits of transition should be distributed equitably, or else the transition would be just talking. 2020, this year, is the year the transition must begin, as we IPCC emphasized many times. We feel especially privileged for being an honoree this year, the symbolic first year of a decade of rapid decarbonization. Beginning now, the world needs to reduce greenhouse gas emissions of CO2, especially CO2, at an annual rate of 6% per year for the rest of this decade to limit warming to below 1.5. But global emissions keep rising. The choice we face now is very clear. We begin the immediate reduction of CO2 and maximize the benefit, or continue increasing CO2 emissions and face consequences of rising temperatures and necessities of a very drastic reduction of CO2 emissions. To me, this is not a difficult choice, because it will either investing in new technologies and innovation for a better, sustainable economy and society, or investing in old ways that would lead to a capital loss in a matter of time. We hope that IPCC, being the honoree for this year, will be a good omen to the decade of decarbonization. It is my pleasure to receive this honor on behalf of the thousands of scientists that have contributed to IPCC reports as authors, reviewers, the hundreds of government officials that have served as members of the IPCC panel, and numerous staff of the Secretariat, IPCC Secretariat, and technical support units of the working groups and inventories task force since 1988. The success of the IPCC is due to their expertise and contributions. On behalf of all current and past IPCC participants, thank you very much for the recognition you have bestowed on us. We are deeply honored to now be the members of the Earth Hall of Fame, Kyoto. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you again for recognizing IPCC in this way. Thank you.
Lee 様、ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Mr. Lee. The next inductee is Ms. Mary Robinson. Mary Robinson has been a tireless advocate for justice in the field of human rights as a former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and former president of the International Commission of Jurists. She has also been involved in the field of climate change from the human rights perspective, requesting each country to generate climate change policies giving considerations to the North-South problem, thereby contributing greatly in achieving global consensus. She is now advocating climate justice, in which she considers the problems of human health, natural disasters, and dislocation due to climate change as issues of human rights, she is struggling hard to solve them. Unfortunately, because of her public engagement, Ms. Robinson was unable to attend this ceremony today. Now, Mr. Ho-Sen Lee will be leaving the stage. Let us give him another warm round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Lee. With this, we conclude the commendation ceremony of the Earth Hall of Fame, Kyoto. I would like to ask the audience to be seated for a while, and the hosts will be leaving the stage. Thank you. After this ceremony, from 2:15, International Symposium is going to begin. During the break, please visit the exhibition with regard to the company's activities against the climate change, and also there are various books that are being sold. There is a poster session by the high school students as well, and also at the exhibition of the Earth Hall of Fame Kyoto exhibition with regard to Dr. Nakamura is being displayed. Please find time to visit the area as well. The International Symposium will resume at 2:15. Please come back by then. Thank you.